Charge, the surrender.
Oh, surrender charge, yeah.
Yeah.
That is how much the insurance company is going to hold based on the amount of premium that you put in. Agents have the option to reduce that, or I don't want to say increase that, but they have the ability to adjust that. Typically, we like to make sure that our fees are minimum so then that you can accumulate more cash into your policy. And like you said, there's a difference between the cost and the premiums that you're actually going to be paying on a monthly basis. You're going to typically let us know what you're comfortable putting into the policy, and we're going to structure it based on that specific amount.
Yep, absolutely. And then, so that addresses the charges. So sometimes you'll have a surrender charge, sometimes you won't. It really depends on who you're working with. And that's because we believe in writing policies for you, just like we were writing for ourselves.
And I think we make a big impact of educating people before the actual policy is even issued. You guys are pretty in-depth as far as knowledge, sometimes more than other agents that I've seen. And just like you guys are looking for a good agent, we're making sure, in the case of those chargebacks, we're making sure that you guys are a good fit for us as clients as far as timely responses and stuff like that. Just like you guys are looking for that in us, it's vice versa as well.
And then you got the flexibility to add in more premium.
I was just telling that to a client today. There's two ways to design a policy. You can either design it to where you're putting in a small amount of money for a huge amount of death benefit, or vice versa, you're putting in a large amount of money, and based on the design, you're gonna shrink that death benefit as small as you can based on the IRS guidelines. There's two ways to design a policy, and just based on whatever your goals are, that's what you could be looking for in the illustration page. The next question we got, how does it work if you already have a lump sum of money? So as far as funding, you can fund it a few different ways. It can be monthly, it can be annually, or periodically. Typically we design for like the annual numbers in mind. You get paid like a monthly figure, it's a little bit easier just to chunk at it throughout the 12 months. But if you're like a business owner and you get paid periodically, these premiums are flexible, and the typical illustration page is just going to show annual numbers. So lump sums are always an easy way to get started and get some instant equity into your policy.
Yeah, that's the best way. It really works best if you can start with a lump sum and you don't necessarily need to use it in the first year. When there was a 19-year-old fireman, he said, I'm 19 with a 709 credit score and work for the fire department. Any advice to move forward? I'm assuming he means like with an IUL.
Yeah, as long as you're able to save some money on, like I said, either on like a monthly or an annual basis, that's what we're always trying to help advocate, is getting started with these policies sooner, just because the more you let it compound and mature, the better and sweeter these get, actually taking out large distributions from them. But as long as you're able to have some type of cash flow and save into it, that's one portion. And then the other is being approved by the insurance company. We can pretty much design anything for you guys. See, one guy said, I'm pretty sure this was a comment when you were mentioning the firefighter. What if you're an average Joe? As long as you can save money, you got decent health to be approved for a policy, we can design pretty much anything, because we're all going to make money throughout our lifetime and spend on expenses. You might as well capture the value of your income through the policy. That's going to build your account up, and you'll be able to utilize those funds in distribution.